tried speech jammer for the first time. Oh my god. I tried to tell a story time just to myself because it doesn't let you record. It sounded like I was drunk. But I am here to tell you a story time. Yeah! It's story time Wednesday. And today we have good news. Tomorrow I am getting my boot off at 8:25 or 35 in the morning. So I have to wake up at pretty much like 7:35, and it's not good at all. So our story time today is how somebody broke into my mom's car and stole her stuff. So it was one day we were at the dog park, and if you know me, you know I have plenty of dogs now. So yeah. And this is going to be the story time setting on the swing. Sorry, my voice is a little messed up now because I'm so used to saying things like twice, so it's really weird and dumb and stupid, so yeah. So we were at the dog park with my family, and my brother did not roll the window up before we left. Good thing, later you'll find out. The speech gym is still going on my head, so I'm used to things being late when I say them. So, yeah, it takes a second. And when we got back, our her wallet had been stolen. And then we looked down the line of cars, and everyone's window was like broken open and shattered, and they took all their people's stuff, and they took my mom's money, her credit cards, and her like Costco cards and stuff. And like it was a lot of stuff. So we were just like dumbfounded when for like a couple months they were like pretending to be my mom. This is a very short story time, I know, right? But I'm going to combine two stories. So that was the first one. It's like a little short story. Next is how I was home with a babysitter and my best friend. My babysitter is my best friend's older sister, so she was over too. So when the babysitter was walking down, there was apparently this guy following her, and she didn't tell me when she got home right away. And he was just following her, and she thought of it as nothing. Funny story, she almost called 911 because her neighbor had a white van, and she didn't know that he has that because he works for this place. But anyway, he was following her to my house, and he left. And then when her mom drove her sister down, which was my friend, the guy went up to their window, and then they just kind of brushed him off and didn't talk to him. Okay, so then Brandy's like, the creepy dude's back. I was like, what creepy dude? I was like, what creepy dude are you talking about? They're like, didn't have to tell you the guy who followed her, and he came up to the window, and she was very scared. And if you guys don't know me that well, I am terrified of people breaking into stuff. This is my worst fear. I can't even sit in my backyard right now sometimes because I am afraid that somebody's going to go from those woods and pop out. So yeah, I can't even really sit in my own yard because of them. And so we were just like, oh my god. Okay, so we brushed it off. We watched Robin Hood, I think, not the kitty one, but the Arrow or something like that. It was I didn't really pay attention. Me and Brandy were doing stuff. I was on my computer with Rainbow Loom and stuff, and yeah. And we got a knock at our door, and we were just like, oh, it's probably solicitors or something, but we realized it's 10 o'clock at night. 9:30 o'clock at night. So we were just okay. Hunter was like, you girls stay upstairs. And I looked through the window, and it was the creepy guy. Oh no, we saw him beforehand walking along the streets, and we were just like, okay, that's weird. But he came knocking on our door, and we looked down, and there he is, and he's smoking one of those V cigarettes, you know, the fake cigarettes that they're like vapors. And he looked at me in like the weirdest perverted way possible, and I was like so scared. I was like, Hunter, it is the dude. He just looked at me, and then she told me the story about how he was following her home. So then I text my dad, and my dad's like, call 911. Like, sweetie, call 911. And so I called, and the guy had disappeared. So he could have been anywhere. And my gate is easy to open, easy to climb over. Also, you know, those woods are not that hard to get over, people. So I was terrified. That is scary. We called the police. The police came, and like 5 of my neighbors came over and were like, are you okay? And then we stayed inside, and the scary part was one of my dogs, Prince. He is like my baby. So he went missing during this. Apparently he was downstairs doing something, but he went missing going downstairs. So I was terrified. I was like, what if he's dead? I'm so scared. And then police come. I go down to Brandy's house, and it ends up we have a sleepover at like 3 a.m. I was like, Mom, I want to come home. Mom, I'm scared. I was crying. I was shaking. I was terrified. I know. Like, I'm not going to title this video Almost Kidnapped, because it wasn't even almost kidnapping. It could have been, but it wasn't. So, I'm not going to say almost kidnapped. But when we got to her house, her little brother has the same fear as me. He's like 10 or 9. And he was scared too, because I know I had the same fear as him. So me and him were like crying, and I was like, are you okay? Do you want to do like something with me? And we played Jack in the Box, and eventually it ended up good. So I'm just happy that wasn't more than just some creepy guy walking the neighborhood. Nobody ever found him. It was weird, and it was crazy, and I'm going to do a third story time. This one's quick, and it's kind of funny. So, me and my mom were with my mom's friend, and the car was packed, so there's only 3 seats available, which is me, my mom, and my mom's friend. And let's just call my mom's friend Helene. So, then Helene, I almost said her real name. Helene decided, well, we were like driving downtown Annapolis, and there was this guy, and he just like flat out fell on the concrete, and we were just like, what is wrong with this dude? He was wearing a cowboy hat and like a beaded necklace that was like the blue on mine, and it was like skulls, and then he looked like he was from Texas and got lost and wandered here. And he flat out fell, and we were just like, oh my Lord. And we called the police, or he was like, oh, my mom rolled down the window, and she was just like, are you okay, sir? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. And we were like, okay. And it's like, but can you take me for a ride? And we're just like, no. So then we drove past the bridge, and on our way back, we drove over the bridge again. And there was the guy with his like hat pulled down, and the police talking to him because we had called the police. So yeah, I'm wrapping this up because I only have a minute. And thank you guys. Love you so much. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm sorry about like the lighting and like that. My phone is being weird. So bye. See you all next time. Love ya.